electricity is coming, yeah. Okay, so 40 minutes. We can try after 40 minutes, try to start again. So, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivadargari, Yasodanandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Kira Vanachara. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Amagyanatimrandasya Janan Jana Salakaya Chakshurunilitamina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manavistam Stapitam Vinabhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakamatam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Tanamani Hariti Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanaka Vaishnavite Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we will still reading the same text like yesterday. We will continue to discuss the purport. Some point this is not completed yet. Just let me read the verse just myself a little bit. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastha Kasmalam Idam Nishame Samavastitam Anaryajustama Makirtikaram Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Oh my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy." Okay, so yesterday we have described about the absolute truth as well, that as Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman, where Bhagavan is actually is the complete uh, realization of the absolute truth. So here is the description of Bhagavan that yesterday maybe we already also discussed. So the word Bhagavan means Bhagavan. Bhaga is the opulences. One means one who possesses. So one who possesses the opulences. And what are those opulences? Is given at actually there are 6 things over here. What are there? All riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation. So one who possess one who possess this opulence is in full is called Bhagavan, and this is referred to Lord Krishna. Yeah. Rich, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, and all this thing is something that attract people. For example, if somebody very rich, they have a lot of friends. Even somebody who maybe is very far away, don't have any any it's not relative. They think that yes, it's a relative. Yeah, it's attract people. Strength also attract people because by strength people are get is protected, and by fame also people are known by anybody or everybody. Beauty, It's also natural that somebody attracted to the beauty. Yeah, beauty here. Yeah, not also for the man. It means like yesterday, Victoria, yeah, is questioning why beautiful, why not handsome? Yeah, actually the meaning is here. The beauty, Krishna is the most beautiful, like that. So it's beauty and knowledge. So when people having knowledge, also they are considered to be opulent. And renunciation mean one who is not attached. Yeah, so they also attract people. And Krishna is all attractive. So Krishna actually having all these things in full. And then here, there are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Entirely mean the whole, everything. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the supreme son of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. So we can see here, even Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, also is not possessing all opulences like Lord Krishna have. Yes. Some are not present. Something are not present in Lord Vishnu feature. Actually, Lord Vishnu is actually Krishna himself. But in okay. So this is what the prayer of Lord Brahma. One time Lord Brahma actually he was forgetting that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and then one time he tried to steal the friends and the cows of Lord Krishna when he is playing. He is 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 uh, is herding the cows in the Govardhan Hill, and Lord Brahma still his friend. And then after some time, Lord Krishna, oh, this is Lord Brahma's. Lord Brahma had did this, so I will give him lesson. So Lord Krishna again manifests into each of them. So Lord Krishna manifests exactly what is still was stolen by by Lord Brahma. Then finally Lord Brahma just realized that actually he commit mistake. He do the wrong things. Then he'll start praying. Yeah. Iswara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So it was like that. And then here is also is mentioned that actually Lord Krishna is Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Ete chamsa kalapumsa Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Indra Rivya Kulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. So Lord Krishna also appear in different time to time, different incarnation. But Lord Krishna is the supreme, is the Lord himself.
Teacher, can I ask?
Yes,
Lord Brahma, what is it in Khmer?
Prehprom.
Oh, Preprom, and why, since he is a god, why does he forget, and why is he greedy that he want to steal animals or anything from another god?
Actually, yeah. Actually, everyone in this material world is affected by the three modes of material nature. If including Lord Brahma, only Krishna who is actually aloof. Only Lord Krishna actually is not under the influence of material energy. So sometimes he forget. Lord Brahma forget. Yeah, he is really forgetting. He really forget about it, and he thinking, oh, why before he's still Lord Krishna's friend actually. he was thinking that my God is Narayan, Vishnu. Then why now people are calling him God? That is just a small boy. Krishna was still small like that. Krishna was still small in the like that in the place nowadays called Vrindavan. So in Govardhan Hill, but Krishna is herding the cows. So Lord Brahma is really curious that is he want to test is he really God or not? Why you are saying that he is God? Actually, one of the servant of Lord Brahma mentioned that he is God himself, and he was confused. Really? then then he tried to steal, and then after some time he just understand that actually he commit mistake. Okay.
Teacher, this is just my own reflection.
Yes.
Since God among themselves, they still cannot completely, fully eliminate greed, desires, ignorance, something like that. So how can we, as a normal human being, can do that? This is my first reflection. And back to the Bhagavan, the all six opulences. Those are like which are rich, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. So this is my inside joke. So if I meet a guy who is rich, who is handsome, something like that, so is he a god? And how about me? Or how about other ladies? If she is also beautiful, she is rich, she is powerful, so she is influential. So is she in a form of God? This is my inner side joke. But the question is, to what extent that we define rich, to what extent that we define strength, to what extent that we define fame, beauty, renunciation, and knowledge, that we can consider that once this person or once this form possess all of these six appearances, to what certain measures that can be considered that that person is amazing or in a God form. Because if we take a look in society, to some extent, individual can possess this kind of six appearances, but in what way that we define it, and to what measure, to what extent that we define and we identify it as rich, fame, or beautiful.
In Bhagavad Gita, it's actually mentioned that whatever wonderful in this material world is only coming from small the small part of Lord Krishna's opulence. So whoever actually having all those things like opulences in material world is actually just coming from Lord Krishna's very small particle like that, and actually is nothing compared to Lord Krishna. This is natural thing that somebody is attracted to those opulences, just natural. Yeah, somebody like if somebody very rich, so yeah, it's attractive. When somebody is knowledgeable, so it's also attractive. Somebody who is let's say handsome or beautiful, so it's also attractive. It is normal thing. But although having all those things, Lord Krishna is fully renunciate. Fully renunciant. He is not attached. We, for example, even if we possess certain amount of wealth, we are attached to that. Usually, oh, I have this nice house, I have my helicopter, different things. For example, I might have my own helicopter. Then usually that person will attach. Why? Because they don't understand. He is thinking that he is the owner of that. That actually is not the real owner, because when we leave this body, when we die, we 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 bring nothing. We as the soul will bring nothing. We have to stop it. We have to leave it here. Maybe coming to our to our descendant, something like that. So if certain person having certain opulences doesn't mean that he is God, but by mercy of God, actually he has certain opulences, and also sometimes because of their karma also. Yeah, we sometimes find that, oh, that person, there's a person who is very very rich, for example, although maybe they not work so much, for example. That is because of their karma in previous life. They may do a lot of pious thing, something like that. So is that answering your question? Yeah, it whatever wonderful in this material world, either uh, beauty or richness or knowledge, is actually only coming from very small part of Lord Krishna's opulence. Yeah, it is described in chapter 11. Chapter 11, yeah, is actually mentioned. Because everything wonderful in this material world also is representing Krishna. For example, among the bird, do you know Garuda? Have you ever know bird Garuda? So Vainateya cha pakshinam, Lord Krishna mentioned in chapter 11. Vainateya cha pakshinam. Among the bird, I'm Garuda. Lord Krishna is Garuda. It means that uh, Vainateya or Garuda is the king of the bird. Yeah. All other bird is inferior to Garuda among the bird. All are actually lesser or inferior to Garuda. So here Garuda is representing Krishna, and actually Lord Krishna's opulence is unlimited. Okay. So of course, a certain person become, you know, having certain opulences, but doesn't mean that he is God. Yeah. And in this material world, as I mentioned, usually if somebody possess certain opulences, maybe they not possess another. For example, I mentioned to you that if somebody very rich, sometimes he is not having no renunciation because attached. Oh, that's why, for example, if the millionaire, they will always afraid that somebody will steal their richness or steal their property. Why? Uh, if he is not really afraid, he will not uh, he will not putting any security too much. For example, even for bodyguard, it is different thing, right? Usually, millionaire they make a lot of arrangement for security. Even their house may be a lot of, hidden, how to say, uh, apiria or something like that, ong piep or something. I don't know in Khmer English. So it's just like that. So yeah, according to Vedic literature, Krishna possesses all those opulences in full. Yeah, all riches. All riches is mentioned also in Bhagavad Gita. Iswara Sarva Bhutanam, Sarva Loka Maheswaram. All planetary system is belong to me. Yes, like that. Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sa Nivisto. Also, he is actually he present in everyone's heart and a lot of things. Okay, so it's like that. The opulence is Bhagawan, something like that. So that's why Krishna is all attractive. The word Krishna also means all attractive. All attractive. Why? He is having these opulences in full. Okay, so and then another, why is this? It seemed to be one some point I didn't about Aryan. Mm. Have you ever heard word Arya before? I shared the text on the group over there that mentioned about this part, mentioning about Arya. So have you heard about Adolf Hitler, right?
Yes, yes, you explained yesterday. I didn't know the name.
So he was actually claiming that German is actually the original Aryan people, most elevated, what do you call, the race or certain nationality or certain, how we call them? Ethnic. We can say ethnic, something like that. So he considered that they are actually Aryan, the real Aryan, and actually he will think that everyone else should be under their control, something like that. But actually, the Aryan uh, meaning of Aryan, according to Veda, is not belong to certain race. So what is that? Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, the word Aryan is applicable to person who know the value of life and have a civilization but based on spiritual realization. Yeah. Person who are led by the material conception of life do not know the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan. They are captivated by external features, the material world. Therefore, they do not know what liberation is. Person who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryan. So it is not about certain nation or certain race. This is something else. Aryan is something else. Yeah. So Adolf Hitler may claim that German people, it was something like that. This is a kind of nationalism, something like that. But actually, it is universal value. Actually, even if African people, but for African people, if they know about this self-realization, they also can be considered as Aryan. That's the Prabhupada giving meaning here. That Aryan means somebody who know the value of life. They cultivate self-realization and try to liberate themselves from material bondage. So this is Arya. Yeah. Arya Tho. Something I don't know what is in Khmer. I heard this word. Is that something like that. Aryan civilization. Aryan is of course European people. There's ethnic. They also call Indo-Arya. Yeah. But the real Arya, I mean, according to Vedic concept, is broader, having broader meaning, not only certain ethnic. Because if Adolf Hitler, they become narrow-minded. It's not people who want to get out from the material bondage, but they become narrow-minded and thinking themselves to be superior to others. And then it is not actually the real realization. So unless one actually know about Bhagavan, about Krishna, and try to cultivate the want to go back home and cultivate self-realization, then we are not Arya. So here, Arjuna is considered as non is con, Arjuna is following is Aryan people because he's supposed to be from Kshatriya line and he know about the value of life. And then what Krishna is saying to him, Anarya Justam Aswargyam. If you see the text, the last the third line, Anarya Justam Aswargyam. Yeah. Anarya, not Aryan. Why? You are belonging to Kshatriya family. Why you think like this? Why are you like not non-Aryan people? Akirtikaram Arjuna. It is not bringing you to the only bring you to infamy. Yeah, like that. So actually, I just want to share that actually this is the first. I think I remember when I was still grade 6 or grade 6 or 7 or even before that. It was the first Bhagavad Gita sloka that I read when I was still, yeah, 19, let's say 19, I entered school 1992, so it is around about 6 years later, so 98. Yeah, first time I read this Bhagavad Gita is this verse actually. I study with my teacher, religion teacher actually. In Indonesia, the the religion is subject is there in subject in the school for everyone. In Cambodia, is something I don't know why this is not good. Even Buddhist is not given in this public school. Okay, it seemed like a secular for me. But in Indonesia, although yeah, every student will be given the teaching of religion according to their religion. If they are Muslim, so the school will provide Muslim teacher, something like that. Anyhow, it is it's okay. So that's why Arjuna is indulging him, so that why you are acting like this? Why are you like a non-Aryan? Why is you look like a people who don't have you don't know the value of life, something like that. Okay, is there any more question? More questions? So we still have time actually, and so we can read further. We can read further either from Srila Prabhupada class or from hopefully coming out. There is so far there is no notification yet that after such and such minute will be there is no. Okay, I will share.
Actually, just one question about the
Yes,
Kshatriya.
yes.
They don't have the right, like not the right, but they shouldn't feel any compassion.
Kshatriya.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually,
they just should act according to.
Kshatriya also should have also knowledge, but sometimes it's needed for them to fight. It's not that you know every problem then always fighting. The war is actually this is the last choice. It's mentioned. It's the last choice. And here, this war is already last choice. You know, it's not like that. So that's why actually the kshatriya they should have training. Otherwise, people will not become kshatriya. So they also is educated in different ways, like the laws. Also, they are not just like a barbaric soldier. It's not like that, but they have education. And when they are still boys, let's say 8 years old or something, even before that, they already study with the teacher and become cultivate like humility and everything. So they will even if they are prince, they have to go to live with the teacher and live a very simple way and have to serve them. Lord Krishna, for example, actually Lord Krishna is, we can say, like a prince, but somehow in this tradition, even when Lord Krishna is studying in we call Gurukul, he also going to the forest to collect the dry woods for cooking. So it is like that. So in modern education, it is no, in the traditional education, the cultivation of the value, cultivation of morality, and also character is very strong. So that although they also learn how to manage, they learn even martial art, but they have self-control, something like that. Like here, Arjuna is considered very pious. Now, why I have to fight? They are my relative. Why I should fight? This is also showing us that Arjuna is not just a little bit problem and then without any discussion and then okay, now declaring war. It's not like that. He is already in the previous. If we see the background of this war, also we already know that actually this is already the last choice, no other choice, because Duryodhana challenged them to war. Yeah. And then for the Kshatriya, one of the code is that if somebody challenge you, you should not run away. Yeah. Like Arjuna is thoughtful person, is very mindful. Yeah. Duryodhana might challenge us and he might not aware about the bad effect of the war, but we know the bad effect of war. Why should I fight then, like that? This is the dilemma for him, for Arjuna. Why I should fight? Maybe they are greedy and they don't not aware about the bad effect of war. That's why they challenge us. But now we understand about this, that will be, the after war will be bad effect. But then why we will counteract like that. But the code for the Kshatriya is that when somebody challenge, so should not run away. And also actually because Duryodhana is not good people. He already commented six aggression that we already discussed. He tried to burn the house, already tried to kill, poison, and also insult the queen. Also, they actually need to be punished. Actually, they need to be punished. Yeah. Honestly, they need to be punished. And now here, Arjuna and other Pandavas is a Kshatriya, and actually this is their duty to the death. Krishna, if he won, is just by desiring everyone is vanquished, but here he won Arjuna to to engage in this warfare actually, because later on will be disclosed by Lord Krishna that actually he has mission to come to this war actually, to vanquish everyone over there, and you Arjuna just fight like my instrument, something like that. So actually Lord Krishna already vanquished all of them. Yeah. Like that. So of course, one of the tasks for Kshatriya is also to protection. We have to remember also, Kshatriya also have compassion, as actually is also compassion. For example, if Kshatriya have enemy and the enemy is already surrendered to you, Kshatriya will not kill. This is also compassion. Kshatriya, yeah, like that. One of the example is that one time Yudhishthira Maharaj see the Kali personified who torturing the cows, and then he is about to kill him because in his time, if anybody kill the cows, then the person should be killed by the king. Why? In his kingdom there is nobody torture the cows actually. It's not allowed because they also praja. In Vedic conception of the praja, pracharyah in Khmer, this is not only human being but actually all animal also, and also plant is also considered as praja. Yeah, it's also praja. It means that the living entity that take birth in his area, this is called praja. But in Cambodian word, we call prachechun. Prachechun. Prachechun, chun mean people. Prachechun is only related to people. But praja is actually the citizen in a Vedic conception actually also include animals. So if somebody want to kill, especially cow, then they should be punished by the king. Okay, it seems that the time gonna finish. Oh, still 3 minutes. 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, will automatically off. If we want to continue, we have to start again. But I think I don't know if it needed or not. Is there any more question? Still 3 minutes left. Yeah, it is like that. In citizenship in Vedic time, this is broader, much broader than nowadays. And nowadays, even the government not taking care of some part of human being as well. They even have difficulties in they not having food or different ways. So in ancient time, if the citizen have difficulties like that, they responsible. Of course, the king will also get the tax. He will get the tax from the citizen, but not all citizen. The Brahmana is not taken for the tax. Brahmana, elderly people, they are not taken. Only for one who is like smaller kshatriya, and also one who cultivate land. For the Vaishya, they should pay tax. But in return, the king should protect the area, and there should be no thief and different things. And also, if somebody have difficulties like this, the king is responsible. Yeah, the king is responsible. So it's mentioned that's why if the king is pious, then the kingdom will be happy. Everyone will be happy. Okay. Because they collect taxes, and sometimes a lot of let's say wealth. So sometimes when there is a famine, when the farmer growing not enough for food, then king will take care like that. The king should, yeah, the treasury should allocate for this. Okay. So even in the management of the country in ancient time is also personal. It's not nowadays, who to blame because you choose them. So who to blame? But in ancient time, if there is something wrong, easy. The king is not responsible. That's all. The king is not qualified. Is not responsible. Is not is at least not powerful enough. Like that. If something bad in the kingdom, then okay, that's the king. Is like that. Okay, so this less than 1 minute, it will be finished. Should we stop or continue a little bit? But I think now it's 7 minutes more on the before 2:00. But this one,
Sorry, do you want to do the verse 3? The verse 3? Like we just reconnect for the verse 3?
yeah,
You have time.
I have time, and then